You're watching Detroit's own WHPR TV. Detroit Live. The views and opinions expressed on the following show are not necessarily the views and opinions of W33BY, its affiliates, management, or sponsors.
We have an array of products to assist you in all your beauty or body needs. Do you want curly, soft, beautiful hair? Well, try our Relaxer line, designed to leave your hair soft, silky, and full of body. Or would you like beautiful, straight, shiny, long-lasting hair? Well, try our Cherry or Extreme Hold Spritz with our Cream Shine. It's guaranteed to give you that look you want. How about dry, achy feet or legs that you can't seem to keep moisturized? Well, try our African Shea Butter Foot Lotion. We have many products to help you with all phases of your beauty and body needs. For a full list of all our products, please visit our website at www.aeasysilk.com or call us at 313-277-2319. Has age finally caught up with you? Do you have high blood pressure, diabetes, or kidney disease? Well, look and feel younger today. We discovered a new product that promotes appearance and joint issues by the way of collagen, HA, and other super ingredients, without injections. This product will significantly improve joint mobility, help with high blood pressure, kidney disease, and diabetes. It'll also help your skin as well. Call us now at 706-319-0255 or 313-885-4321.
Lord, I'm just sitting here looking over my life, Lord. Let me take inventory. Can I take it? Can I take it? 'Cause I know you. I know you. I know you've been good to me, Lord. I come from a poor family. We didn't have much, but the Lord been good to me. Come from a poor family. We didn't have much, but the Lord been good to me. Come from a poor family. We didn't have much, but the Lord been good to me. Let me tell y'all something. I didn't have no money. How many of y'all were like that? A lot of my friends thought that was funny. But I'm so glad today that I can stand right here and say that the Lord's been good to me. Let me tell you one more thing. We were raised in a shack, y'all. Sometimes clothes were thin that we put on our back.
And good morning once again. This is, of course, J.D. Hill coming at you live by way of our great station here in the city of Highland Park. And as always, I am eternally grateful to the Almighty God for this honor, this privilege that He has allowed me to occupy space in His world one more time. And we give God the glory, we give God the honor. And just thank everybody this morning for tuning in this morning. I see that we are here, and the weather is nice this morning, and you can get up this morning, of course, after the J.D. Hill show, and or either prior to. I hope that you've gotten up and went for your brisk walk this morning and got the body all acclimated, ready to take on another journey for today. And we hope that you're in good health and feeling fine this morning. We trust that you are taking care of yourself. We have later on in the broadcast, we will be dealing with one of the gentlemen that has worked down through the years, trying his very best to share information with us about our health. And we got to always take care of it. When you're young, you don't take it in consideration too much. You just feel that you're going to be here you're going to feel like you're feeling when you're young. But I stopped by to tell you this morning, if you just stay around here long enough, stay around here long enough, things will happen in the body. The body will go through a change. And so we just hope and trust that those of you who are young enough and energized enough that will take care of yourself this morning and start working for the upward mobility, the strength, and for your economic base as you go through life. It's very important, as I often tell you, that my daddy instilled in me as a young man, and so did Mr. Watkins' father instill in him as a young man, and that was, yeah, run before you have to. And and when you have to, you won't have to run so hard. I didn't understand it then, but we want to somewhat explore that this morning, if it's on your mind. Some of the adages, the old adages in the sayings and the parables that was passed on down to you when you were a child, and they still resonate in your mind. And we want those who have different symbols, stories, the adages that you want to add this morning, that it may be a source of empowerment to our young people. We invite you to call in this morning, whatever you are doing for the upward mobility of yourself and for the family and for the neighborhood, for the community, and for the city and for the world in general. But you want to focus in and try to get yourself on track and try to get yourself together at a young age, because what you do today will determine your tomorrow, and your tomorrow will determine your week. Your weeks will determine the month, and the month will determine the years, and so on and so on and so on. So we trust that you will continue to focus in on what the information that is being shared here by way of this great station, WHBR TV 33. It seems as though if you are watching your TV that we may have a little glitch, and that happens sometime when you got all of this modern technology coming all across the world, and we never know where the storms and the tornadoes are originating from, and sometimes they are in the area where the signals are, and coming through the air. There's this a problem with the weather, but we are here this morning, and through the glitches, if you just hang on in here with us, we will get through this this morning. I want to give a shout out, of course, to my good friend and brother, the CEO of this great station, and his lovely wife, Mrs. Watkins. And Mrs. Watkins, if you are there this morning, if you got everything that you feel that you want to share with your listening audience, because you are reaching all over the world, and from a perspective, your perspective this morning is always important. Our young people are in school, they are in college, and they like to hear from somebody who has been here in the struggle and know what it is to be the first lady of a great mega empire such as this WHBR TV 33. And we have access to Comcast cable, and we have on your yoke Roku. We will have our engineer this morning. Of course, he's Mr. Sean Watkins, a very capable and able young man that's controlling the engineering aspects of it this morning, and we are so proud of him and all that he's doing. And of course, our brilliant secretary this morning, she's there, as I often say, a lady of integrity, a lady of enthusiasm, and a lady of just to help to enhance one's upward mobility. She seems as though she always has the words to share when you're just thinking about you got to come on the show, you got other things that you got to engage in today, and it's something about her voice that just calms the storm, and tell you that everything will be all right. That's the type of secretary that we have here on the first shift. And of course, the second shift is none other than Mrs. Willis, just a brilliant young lady that comes here and throughout the week, and she has a show here that airs, and that has to do with our young people, as she's reaching all the way back from the cradle cradle all the way up and trying to stimulate and motivate our young people at a young age. And we want to commend you and congratulate you, Mrs. Willis and Mr. Willis, because he's always here as the anchor. He know all of the ins and out of operating a great station such as this, and so we are giving a shout out to Mr. Willis this morning. Good morning to you, my friend, and of course the gentle giant of this great station, Mr. Henry Tyler. Good morning to you and your wife this morning. Mr. Tyler, we hope that everything is going well with you and my friends. He's just an awesome man, Mr. Tyler. And so we just want to thank everybody. We just believe in giving credit where credit is due. I look today and the world is focusing in on the going away of our, we could say that, of our good friend and our role model, and one that has entertained us, motivated us, given us that drive and determination to succeed in spite of. And we are talking about none other than the great late Muhammad Ali. Muhammad Ali, that will be laid to rest in Louisville, Kentucky today, and the world will be focused in on him. So we want to thank the Ali family, and of course Mr. Watkins and Mr. Tyler. The entire team here are sending out their condolences to the Ali family, and we share with you in the going away celebration of just a great man, So Mr. Watkins, through his busy schedule, will be able to tune in periodically and to witness the going away of our friend and great man, Muhammad Ali. So if there are those out in TV and radio land, if you would like to call in this morning and express your concern and your feelings about one of them, we could say that just a great man, that with all of his accolades, and he was a humble man. He was a humble man where the young brothers and sisters, the babes in the arms, irrespective of pigmentation of the skin, when Muhammad Ali was out, they had access to him. He was just a great man, and we already miss him. We miss him in the ring. And I can remember back in the day when I was a young man, he inspired me to go on. Not that I was in the boxing arena and all, but I just, there was other areas that he could motivate and inspire you in. If you were going to school and telling you that you are the greatest, and that mean a lot, doesn't it? It mean a lot when you are just a child and you are in those formative stages in your life, and there is somebody in your family that continue to tell you you are the greatest, you are somebody, you are going to be somebody. I see what you are doing, and I just appreciate you. That goes a long ways, my friends. We are so accustomed to sometimes people telling us that we are not going to be anything, that we are going to be just like our old daddy, we're going to be like our uncle, we're going to, and we are not going to be anything. And then we may look at how our uncles and our daddies sometimes have conducted themselves in life. And when you're a young boy, you want to be like your daddy. I don't care if he's just out there, just hanging out there. It's just something that you want to be like your daddy, especially if he spent just a little time with you, my friends. So in a time like this, we just want to know that we are the greatest. We are the best. I just thank God for all of us this morning, all across the world. We are just somebody. All of our young people that's in school, and you're getting ready. You're preparing to walk across that stage. To receive that diploma. You're ready to receive that degree, that certificate. We want to just applaud you this morning. We are so proud of you this morning with all that's going on in the world. And we find that when we turn on to the news media, it seems like, as I said the other day, that love has entered into the hospital, into emergency, and the condition of love is grave. And when we look around, and respect is waiting for urgent care. And so what does that leave? Often when we zero in on the TV, or the radio, it's like a ball of confusion, isn't it? A ball of confusion. But I thank God for those of us who God has intervened in our lives, and we have turned our lives over to the Almighty God. We can see through it. We can see that bright side somewhere. And I just want to say to our young people that we are dependent on you. You are our future, and we are trying our best to hold the banner up for you. It gets hard, it gets difficult sometimes, and sometimes we wonder if we made a mistake. Sometime when our young people conduct themselves and carry out the inappropriate desires that we had hoped for them, we find we often ponder our minds if we have made a mistake. It seemed like they would rather go down as opposed to going up. But I thank God it's not all of our young people, and it's just a culture, out there, just the minute. It's just, we want to thank everybody, those who continue to encourage our young people. We know that it's and young ladies and young men, may I encourage you, don't make a mistake now that's going to impede now, according to my vocabulary in electronics. Impede is to slow down, to almost stop, to control. So we don't want you engaging in a certain, you're involved that's going to put your life on hold, that's going to impede your progress, that's going to slow down your progress. And I'm talking about some of you now. As you come out of school, you can't wait to experience certain things like maybe like drinking, like smoking weed, or like being engaged in sexual activities. And my friends, I'm telling you that it can put your life on hold. The things that people would do for you once you find yourself engaged in it. And young ladies, when you come up pregnant and you're with the child, and you still a baby yourself, you can't basically take care of yourself because in the home you may not have that mother or that grandmother, as the mothers and grandmothers of days gone by, who taught you the responsibilities of just living, of taking care of yourself, how to in life, how to go after the things you want, to get up off your knees, roll up your sleeves, and go to work. And I mean, learning how to work from sun up to sundown. See, those mothers and grandmothers are basically off the scene now. And when the young people come into the world, they find themselves acting as a protective shield. They often say, well, what I went through and what my mother and all went through, I don't want my babies to have to go through that. Well, my friends, when they are young, there is a scripture say that train up a child in the way that it should go, and when it is old, it will not depart. And so that has a lot of a stick-to-itiveness in it. If you train them up, get them at a young age, and then you got to watch what they are engaged in. Watch the type of TV they are engaged in. You got to watch everything that our young people are engaged in, because it's a demonic spirit out here that's waiting to just engulf the young people, and so we don't want to go through that, my friends. So Young ladies, protect yourself. Protect yourself. And I know how the young men are. I've been young myself, and I know that at graduation time, we just want to let it all hang out. We just want to let it all hang out. We think that we have arrived. We think that we are that man. We think that we are that woman now. We are on our own. And my friends, as good as it is, and for you to be able to accomplish and move on to a certain plateau in your life. That's a time that you really got to watch, because young ladies, when you engage in the sex activities and you're not protecting yourself, and there is enough that's on the market now, contraceptives that you can protect yourself if you want to engage in that. If you feel that you just can't control yourself, and this young man that you've been smiling with all and writing notes and talking on the phone and texting and calling on the phone, and y'all just can't wait. I'm telling you it can be something that you engage in that is going to over a period of time, or from the time that you bring a child into this world, 18 and 19 years of age, you still are responsible for that child, and sometime that child will grow up, and if it haven't got the proper structure in life, then they can cause a lot of havoc in the family. So we as the scriptures say, train up that child, but you got to make sure that you are able, first and foremost, to train up yourself. And when we say train, sometimes we get that a little mixed up with as if we are talking to some type of animal. We train animals, but with this this connotation, you can understand what I'm talking about. That teach the child, to set examples for the child, to help to correct the child, to put the child as that child is young, work on them, and this thing called this sexual thing. Now you got to start at a young age. At a young age, because so much now is by way of that internet, by way of the phone, by way of TV, and they may have it up there rated R and rated X, and but when you get into it, you can see all that it encompasses. So our young people, they got a challenge. They got a challenge, but I want you to break on through it. Young ladies, protect yourself. Protect yourself. It's more than a notion bringing a young child into this world. It's more than a notion. Yes, when you become pregnant, you go through this depression stage. You don't want people to know about it, but it's like anything else. Soon and very soon, somebody's going to learn about it, and then here you are embarrassed because people were dependent on you to conduct yourself and to go on through life and make the best of your life, and then we find that you are with child, and that put a burden on the family. The family is really, sometimes they they just down and out because they were dependent on you, and it's more critical, I would say, to the young ladies and as it is to the young men. Young men, they go on and plant their seed, and sometimes you don't even know about it until later on, and the young men just plant that seed and get this macho attitude and go on and plant another seed and plant another seed. And here's the young, the girl has got to struggle through trying to get that baby to that stage of accountability and responsibility, and their lives are put on hold, where the young man can go on in life and do good in life many times, and they don't even look back and know that they have a son or a daughter that's dependent on them. I always, and I'm just the type. If I don't put all of that blame on our young girls. No, I just feel that if you're going to indulge with the young ladies and you bring a baby into this world, you should be responsible for that baby. You should be responsible for that baby. That's why I'm talking about train up that child. Train up that child. Tell that young man, watch yourself. you know how to put those things on. You know how to go through life. You know how to protect that young girl as if you would protect your own sister. And I hope to God that you love your sister and you love your mother, so that the things that happen to your sister and and maybe your mother, you just don't want it to happen to the young lady that you're involved with. Life is beautiful. Life is beautiful, but you can put so many complexities in life that it sometimes it make you it's so difficult that you want to throw up both hands. But I just stopped by to tell you this morning by way of Watkins Broadcasting Station that we are dependent on you. We are dependent on you. And the generation that we have now, the grandmothers that's on the scene now, many of them, and I understand what I said, many of them just don't have what the mothers in days gone by had, as far as helping to develop and helping to instruct and helping to cultivate the young people that's coming on. They're so busy, so caught up in this internet age, and so the communication isn't there in the morning. Just about everybody has a cell phone. Everybody is connected. Somebody can, in your own home. Somebody's up in the upstairs. Somebody's on the main floor. Somebody's in the lower floor, the basement. And as opposed to talking to one another, you're texting one another and you're calling one another on the phone. So it's very seldom do you have this interconnection anymore, face to face. It's just by way of the internet, and as a result of that, we find ourselves losing out. The connection is no longer there. So once again, my friends, if I could just impress upon you. I'm trying to impress upon you as one who has been there, done that, been through it. And thank God that I can say that if I was able to go through it and look out for the young ladies and to protect them, and you can do it too. You can do it too. So we just want our young ladies to go on and develop and be the best they can be. As Muhammad Ali say, I am the greatest. We want you to be the greatest. This world is out here for you, and I just hope to God that you can. I hope to God that you can. So we are here this morning, and we want to give a shout out to Miss Katie. That's the hair doctor's daughter, and she's either 16 or 17, and she will be a senior next year, So we're giving a shout out to Miss Katie this morning. Also, Miss Stacy, she's the hair doctor's a daughter also, and she has finished school and in college, and has finished college, and she's into the pharmaceutical, and she's working down at, of course, I think DMC downtown, and a young lady that I had the opportunity in days gone by when I had one of my businesses, and she was just a young baby then, following her mother on to work. I would pick them up in the morning, take them on to work. So Stacy learned the operation at an early age and went on through school, my friends, and finished school and went on to college and been through life. She knows what life is about, and she has evolved into just a beautiful young lady. And we just thank God for her, and in the pharmaceutical. She's into the medical field, and we hope that she will continue to move on. So we are just saying to you, and if you're out there this morning and you want to give accolades to some of the young ladies and the young men who are stepping across that stage, and what is it that you can say this morning that would help to benefit or help to maybe change a young lady's or a young man's life as they are stepping on this stage of life, and tell them about the mistakes that they can make and the mistakes that you don't want them to make, or they really don't want to make. Maybe you want to encourage somebody this morning, and that's what Watkins broadcast, and thank God for Mr. Watkins, as we can reach all across the world. It may maybe right here in Highland Park, maybe in Detroit, that you may not be attuned to. You just waking up, but people all across the world, thank God for the vision of Mr. Watkins. All across the world, we can tap into the homes, and our young people are graduating all around the world. We can tap in and maybe to encourage a young man or a young woman as they are stepping on this stage of life. Young people, I've been there. I've been there. That's why I can talk to you about it this morning. And also, we want to give you an update this morning on the hair doctor. The hair doctor, I was there with him on yesterday. I want to get back by there to see him today, and considering he's doing good. His color is coming back to him. You know, you often hear him say on TV that he's a part African American, part Indian, part Caucasian, part all of this, and see what prior to him going into the hospital for his procedures, and his color had changed, and he was just down, and you know, if you've been there, then you know what I'm talking about. But thank God through the operations and you know, the amputation and all, he's been in good spirit, talking his talk, and you know, and just having a good time up there. You know, yes, he's minus the foot and part of the leg, but in spite of it, he's a source of encouragement to those who maybe have to go through the same procedures. And he would tell you to be very cautious and of what is happening to your body, and the things that can flare up, and you think that it's insignificant, and you just begin to work on it. You begin to perform your own surgical opinion, and begin to go through it, and through the procedures, and then you find out that sometimes you just got to turn it over to the professionals. And there's a scripture in the Bible said on one occasion when Jesus' entourage was so just magnified, they were just so inspired of the work that Jesus was doing. They was trying to tap in on it and saying, Master, how is it that we have been with you, and the things that you were able to do, we just don't seem to be of that structure, of that mindset, able to do that. And Jesus replied, greater things than these you will be able to do. And see, that's why in life, and I know some of us, we don't like to get involved in the medicine and the doctors, but Jesus said on one occasion, greater things than these that you see me do. Jesus would refer to him. Greater things than these you will be able to do. And so we thank God for the modern technology. We thank God for all that's going on, and we thank God for all of the natural herbs and that he has put here on this planet Earth that will help to inspire us and lift us up. So the hair doctor is hanging in there tough, and Dr. E up in the Inkster area, the store up there, his daughter is operating this store up there and doing a great job. I was up there yesterday running the store myself, and I'm always on call, my friends, because if anybody know how to do it, believe me, for the past 25 to 30 years, I've been engaged in the business world, into this what you call this beauty arena, beauty supplies, salons, barbershops, you name it, restaurants, hotels, motels, as getting out here as a landlord, you name it, I've been there. And been working all of my life. I'm somewhat symbolic, like with the hair doctor. I'm a workaholic, and when he's there on his bed of affliction, and the way that he normally go through life, you know, he can't be still, so he's always engaged in trying to rectify, trying to improve, trying to make things better. And for him to be there on his bed of affliction, you know, this is some agony that a person go through. And my doctor was telling me once, because he know my bio. He was saying, Mr. Hill, if you are really down and out, knowing you would just be ready to just leave this world because of the way that you go, what you're involved in, and upward mobility, and you on TV, radio, and when people look up, they see you here, see you there. You don't stay long, but you're going on taking care of business. So he told me, say, I'm going to do the best that I can with what I have in front of me, so that whatever is the problem with you, that you can transition beyond that and continue to get back to your activities. And so these are some things, my friends, when you are out there, young people, and as I said in the beginning, coming from Mr. R.J. Watkins and myself and my daddy and Mr. Watkins' daddy in days gone by, young people, run before you have to. And when you have to, you won't have to run so hard. We're going to get ready and go to the phone lines now. The call-in numbers here to our great station is 868-0342, 868-0351, 868-4336. Giving a shout-out to my good friend and brother and pastor, the Reverend Dr. Jim Holly, proud pastor of the historic Little Rock Baptist Church, 9000 Woodward Avenue, there on Woodward Avenue. You can't miss it as you're going north and, what is that, north and south on Woodward. I think that, yeah, north and south. You can't miss it. Right there at Hogart and right there at Claremont, in that area where you see that big illuminated sign there giving the overview of all of that's happening there at the historic Little Rock Baptist Church. And that is a church that focuses in on economic empowerment on the ground while we are still around. It is a going church for a coming Christ that's serious about the upward mobility of its parishioners and for the entire membership. And the staff there got just an excellent staff, and all of that area through there. You just got to go through there, and you see the handprints of the Reverend Dr. Jim Holly. We are so proud to have him here at WHBR and TV 33 as one of the anchors here at this great station. And if you would like to get in touch with Dr. Holly, of course, call 872-2900. That's 872-2900. That's the number to get in touch with the historic Little Rock Baptist Church. They will connect you with the outstanding secretaries there. My good friend, Miss Deborah. How are you this morning, Miss Deborah? And, of course, to your mother, Miss Johnny May. Good morning, Miss Johnny May, and to the entire staff. So if you want to call over there, call for Miss Deborah, or Barbara, or Tiffany, or some of the auxiliary secretaries and the business people over there, and yeah, you will be glad you did. Just call 872-2900, 872-2900. I'm going to the phone now, and at the hair doctor, if you are up to it this morning and you feel that burst of energy, we would like for you to call on in and just talk to the WHBR viewers all over the world that find themselves connected here on Monday mornings at 8 a.m. for you to occupy this seat. All right, my friends, let us go, and I want to tell you about the products. We'll talk about them after a while. Young people, as you are stepping across that stage, as I have tried to emphasize over and over, make sure that you get into the arena of and tap in on your inventive, your creative skills. I want you to do that. It's something that you can make, you can promote, you can manufacture yourself. If it's just starting off with one single item, do that and do it well. Do that and do it well. And believe me when I tell you, it will put you into that on that path of economic empowerment, because one vehicle will lead to another vehicle if you are serious enough to be serious. All my lines are full now, and giving a shout out, of course, to Patty Girl this morning. She's there, and she continued to talk about the hair doctor, and the hair doctor, they talk through me. They talk through me. So we have a good time. We have a good time. Caller, good morning. Welcome to the JD Hill Show. And how are you this morning? Caller, are you there with me this morning? Going once. Going once. I think. Caller, are you there? All right.
Yeah.
Good morning. Good morning, caller. How are you?
All right. I just want to say what I would tell the young folks is that success is real, ownership is real, and you have to be for real.
All right. Now slow down. I didn't get you in on the beginning. Slow down and tell me exactly what you said. I missed some of that, my friend.
Oh, I would tell the young folks that's graduating today that success is for real.
Okay.
And ownership is for real.
All right.
Just make sure you're for real.
Okay.
Because a lot of times we don't prepare for the journey until we get to the journey. And early preparation is the best friend of our community.
Sure.
Is when we jump on it early. And what I mean early is, I'm not talking, you told him in 11th grade, if you want to be an astronaut, wait till you get to college. If little Johnny wanted to be an astronaut, Reverend Hill, he should have been studying astrology when he was 8. Because he's just that bright and perceptive.
Okay.
But we have allowed video games and everybody else to raise our children. And in the early childhood stages, they missed out on a very unique mental growth experience.
Yes.
I looked at 3 graduating classes this past week. I spoke at one breakfast.
Okay.
And I didn't blow smoke up there, Mr. Hill. I told them the truth.
Sure.
What's out there is they don't want you out there, which is why you have to be creative enough to build your own. Most parents don't like when you tell their children to build their own because it calls you to a higher level of accountability when you're talking about your own.
Okay.
When you talk about your own, you're talking about something that you're going to do, something that's going to come from your ingenuity into the heart and minds of everyone who take part in it. And I hate so bad that our people does not look at entrepreneurialism the way other cultures look at it. We have been taught that if you getting your own or you trying to start your own business, it's better to have a job because you got some people who feel as though it's guaranteed. You know, people have said that, well, as long as I go to work, I'm guaranteed a check at the end of the week.
Sure.
Well, what would happen if the banks fall?
Right.
What would happen if your job falls and the money is tied up in litigation? But you see how we take comfort in something we don't control and operate? So oblivious. And we cannot have the next generation be this oblivious to what it is to be successful. I don't consider you successful because you went to the NBA.
Okay.
Anybody you teach them long enough to play the ball, they can do it.
Okay.
The successful one is the one who went and came back and uplifted his community. And he didn't do it through foundations.
Okay.
He did it personally. When I was living in Texas, Emmitt Smith would personally go down to the inner city of Dallas to make sure his money was spent well.
Okay.
He didn't just give it to no foundation.
Sure.
He said, no, I'm going to take this bankroll and I'm going to go down there and meet Mr. Hill myself. Because that's what it takes. It's nothing, and we can't drill this in their heads enough, Brother Hill. Inwardness has always been the key. Everybody else survives within each other but us, the Arabic-speaking nation. They could start up stores and whatever they want at the drop of a dime.
Yeah.
Because it's an inward thing. We can't start up nothing because we're so much outward. We got everything out. We spread it so thin.
Yes.
We can't let the new generation be like this. We have to teach them. Not only do we have to teach them, But as parents, we have to show them. These parents, the children that you see in the day are the children of the parents that's my age. I'm 43.
Okay.
So the 17-year-old, the 22-year-old, these are children that's in the age parameter of my generation.
Okay. Now let me hold on a minute. Now, my brother 6'4", and hold your thought. We'll come back to that. But your 40+ years here on this planet Earth, when you take an inventory of your generation, that generation, 6'4", have you done an outstanding job of trying to instill what you just shared with us in we're talking about beyond your family membership? You spoke the other day at the graduation, and you were talking about and you didn't blow no smoke. I would like to know, how did those who were invited you there, how did they receive your information? Because sometimes that is the generation that's disconnected. Your generation, my generation, we were so busy in trying to get everything, a foundation that were suitable for tomorrow, and to make sure that the young people didn't have to go through what I went through as a result. Now, it was different when you came along, but 6'4", where did we miss it now? We was in the pursuit of trying to make things better, so we did an outstanding job, but there was a glitch in there somewhere that we missed along the way. So 6'4", how do you evaluate your stage in life now as compared to the young people that's got to come on? Did you do all that you could do? I know you still got a long ways to go, but 6'4", what are we telling them now that we can somewhat reach them? Because you know the internet has taken the place of you and I. We just don't communicate anymore. So 6'4", what is it, my friend? Because we need help.
Well, you know, when I meet my peers and I talk to them about it, the first thing I ask them is what happened to them.
Okay.
See, we came from the tree of good fruit. You know, we did. We came from youth.
Okay.
We came from the East Side ladies.
Yeah.
And people like Diane Ivy Carroll, we came from a mentally stable parenting base.
Okay.
So how did we miss it? And how did we miss it? And this is just my own opinion, is that there are some of us who parents preceded them, and they failed in using the knowledge because they were already being tripped up in the process.
Okay.
You see, and you got some of those kids who are not going to listen, and they have been bullying their parents all their life. And it's a shame that you have bullied your parents to the point that their discipline cannot help you become a more disciplined person. I'm talking to the 43, the 42, the 41, the 40, the 39.
Okay.
This is our mistake.
Okay.
Because these are our kids. You knew a curfew was healthy for your child. Why did you allow your child to stay out past what your parents kept you safe with?
Okay.
The 43, the 42, the 40, the 41, the 39, and the 38. You knew to cook you knew the cook was healthier for you.
Okay.
Because your parents did it for you. Why did you fail in cooking for your child? When I addressed that breakfast, I looked at a bunch of unhealthy human beings.
Okay.
Not only were they unhealthy in their bodies, but they were unhealthy in their minds. Because before I got to the breakfast, I made it a point to walk through the hallway, and the language was atrocious, and the disrespect for a grown up was so. Oh, it was unbelievable that I had to hold my composure when I got before them to not really tell them what was on my mind, because it was sad. It was so sad that I looked at one of the administrators and said, if I was in Lansing, I'd shut them down. I shut the schools down because, see, the parents, the 43, the 41, the 42, the 39s, they have not taught these children enough to respect themselves and their elders, so that is impeding their learning process.
Okay.
The older teacher cannot reach them
Okay.
because their parents didn't teach them.
Okay.
And then when you call that parent up, my peer, my sister, my brother that I graduated with, he or she may act 10 times worse than his child.
All right. That's it. That, that's it.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy, my friend.
But I'm still hopeful though, Brother Hill.
All right,
And
tell you
this is what I told them.
Okay.
We have the greatest power you have.
Mm-hmm.
And the same thing I say on these airways is to change your mind.
Change your mind. All right.
You don't have to go down the path of destruction. I don't have to tell you what's down that path. The fact that I told you it was destructive should have been the red flag you needed.
Okay.
You don't question destruction. Don't seek destruction. You leave away from destruction. You don't try to challenge destruction because listen to its name. His name is destruction.
Okay.
And that's what I left them with, and I'll leave anybody with that.
All right, my friend. It's a pleasure talking to you this morning, and that's what we are trying to do. Reach our young people, those who are preparing, my friend, to walk across that stage, those who are entering into school, those who are in that 9th, 10th, 11th grade and below. We are trying our best to reach that mindset because it could be something that 6'4" and J.D. Hill is saying this morning that a young person that's got with their homies overnight and they are planning on some means of destruction today. And, you know, they feel somewhat ego tripping as a result of that. But due to the fact that you've been there, I've been there, we are sharing this information. It's going all over the world. So maybe, my friend, that we can curtail, we can slow down the process of it. So thank you, my friend, for calling in. If you have anything in the next hour that you want to share with me, call back, okay?
Hey, thanks for taking my call, Brother Hill. Ain't nothing like the power of the spoken word.
All right, my friend. Thank you. All right. Now, that was 6'4", but I want to tell all of us while we are engaged this morning, young people, I don't come here trying to just to entice you to do what I've done over a period of time with the products that you see in front of me. Coming from this head, through this body, through this physical aspect, putting it together night after night, studying after studying, getting the formulas together, working on the formulas. Some of the formulas did not work, but just because they did not work, I just didn't discard those. I put them to the side because later on I realized that if I acquire the necessary information, I could go back with the formula that did not work and see the mistakes that I made. And that formula that I put to the side may be the ingredients that will help to propel my my top quality products, if you understand. When I say propel, I'm talking about to at least to put into it, to promote it, and to for the type of results. That's the word. The type of results that I am seeking and what other people are seeking. So when you look at the products right here, and you'll see on Monday mornings when the hair doctor and Brother Harvey is here, the array of products. Just because I don't have the relaxers here, I don't have the relaxers, I don't have the other items that you go to a beauty supply looking for. I got all of them. We got all of them. The hair doctor and I, we got all of them. Mr. Watkins and I and all of us, we got all of them. And you ain't seen nothing yet. We're working on plans, and those who are not getting on board, and that's what I love about Mr. Watkins and the Watkins family and the team here, Tyler and Cunningham and the Willises. You know, they are not the type that try to entice you and tell you what you better do and all. You know, they just lead the way. They just lead the way. In other words, we're not begging you to come along because we know we got a good thing that's going on. Let me say that again. We're not begging you to come along because we know we got a good thing that's going on. And in the process of time, if you don't get on it now, you're going to you're just going to be left behind. You're going to be left behind. It's not that we're trying to put substance in place that even if you don't want to come on, we can do things to help you. But in the meantime, we are not going to stand idly by. We are going to go full speed ahead, because the God that we know is able to take us on through, my friends. And so, young people, I got products here I'll stand behind. Do you know I'll stand behind? This Energizer 2000 fertilizing hair growth treatment will grow some hair on your head. I mean, I got up this morning after running the store yesterday and trying to get a little rest and doing other things, and went home and got some rest and got up early this morning and running on over here. But, I was just thanking God. I said, now, I haven't had time to prepare. What am I going to say this morning? And it just dawned on me. Look at what you got in front of you. Look at what you got in front of you. Look where you started out from. Tell the young people where you started out from. Tell your story about your products. Because here is the thing. We look into the city of Detroit, and it's a low-down, dirty shame. Yes, it is. It's a low-down, dirty shame. Me, my family, and when we look at it, the church, I mean, it's just... It's no excuse for it. It's no excuse for it. Our homes, our church should be the empowerment of a great people like you and I. Because let me tell you, my friends, I don't care how you're going to wrap it around, how you're going to twist it. Those of us who know what we know, the church has been our rod and our staff down through the span of time. That's all we had was God. That's what we was introduced to, God. And I'm telling you, my friends, through the difficulties in life, if you really want to move on, get some God in your life. God will open up that mind. God will open up your inventive skills. God will open up those creative abilities. God will open up that entrepreneurial spirit. God will do so many great things that you thought was impossible. And just go on, get some God in your life, get some education in your life, and move on. I just wish to God that the church was about the business of taking care of the people. That's all we have. And if you look at the way the structure is set up, this plan is by design. Because that's one thing, as of right now, up to now, that's one thing that these forces of evil somewhat back away from the church. They'll let the church go on and do what they want to do, because in times like we live, they know that they are not about the mission of empowerment. They know that. They know that it's about, because if they can give out a little kibbles and bits to this church, this organization, all of it, they know that's as far as it goes. And if they start talking about empowering one another, uplifting one another, building up communities, taking back over their beauty supply stores, their convenience store, and we are not talking about going in and running anybody out. I'm talking about just coming into the knowledge of the greatness of your own mind. So other forces don't have too much. They'll stay away from the church, because, I don't like to say what I'm about to say, but I'm going to say it anyway. They know that we're not about anything. All we're going to do is sing, pray, hoop, and holler, and that's just about it. And build churches. Am I right? Am I right? I ain't trying to attack anybody. I'm just telling you, it is what it is, my friends. And with I check it out. I don't go around researching and getting nobody else's information. I go myself. I go on Sundays. I go to various churches and I sit up there and I listen and I see how the congregation is so engrossed in the spiritual, the emotional makeup, and how you can just hang people out there in the space with nothing to hold on to. And it seems as though if we have nothing to hold on to, that is the way that we just try our best to go. If you put something that's tangible, feasible, something that we can hold on to, something that we can work to improve our conditions, we are afraid of it. So I'm talking about, the home house and the church house. We can just about forget about the schoolhouse. I hate to say that, but it is what it is. When you send your children to these schools now and all that's going on in the schools, and you got teachers in the schools, and they can't do nothing with Johnny because you didn't teach Johnny at home, and now all of a sudden you're going to send Johnny and Joanne to school to do and hope that they will do in school what you should have been doing in the home. And that's why you got the schools all messed up. You got other folks taking over the school, other folks that don't even have our sense of purpose, our sense of endurance. They don't even want our history in the school. Brothers and sisters, the thing is messed up. It is messed up. I didn't intend to go over into that area, but I'm telling you, my friend, get something that you can do yourself. Thank God for those who stood in the gap years ago. Thank God for my mother, my grandfather, and my daddy, and all of them in days gone by when they would continue to tell a person like R.J. Watkins, man, run before you have to. And when you have to, you won't have to run so hard. Let me say that again. R.J., run before you have to. And when you have to, you won't have to run so hard. And I talked to Mr. Watkins and what his daddy sent him through in order to develop the type of person that he is today. When he was going through it, he resented it, but he knew that he must be about the business of taking care of the business that his daddy laid out for him. And so as a result, this very day, he looked back across the span of time and he can tell people, run before you have to. And when you have to, you won't have to run so hard. Am I saying anything? All right, my friends, all my lines are full. We're going to get ready and go to a top of the hour station break. Just hang in there with me, callers, and I'll be right back on the other side. This is the J.D. Hill Show.
WHPR TV is now on demand. Catch us when you want, how you want, where you want. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Watch your favorite TV shows on demand. And be sure to
download the WHPR app.
We're now on demand at your demand. WHPR TV Detroit on demand.com. A Watkins Broadcasting Company.